one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. Just gotta mean something to you. They gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
I'm coming. I promise you, on my life, I'm coming. From the first snap, man. From the first second. What are we gonna do, man? All back against the wall. All back is against the wall.
I'm ready for whatever right now.
Yo, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. We in here. I got a lot of energy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a lot of energy. I just put something in my cup. I didn't want it, I'm not in fear. I didn't pour nothing in my cup. I'm drinking some apple juice, but the boy is feeling good, man. It is a great sports day today. How is everybody doing out there today, man? I hope you're having a dope day, dope afternoon, dope night, whichever point in time you're listening to this. You know, if you're driving to work, coming from work, trying to go to bed, you know, waking up, whatever point in time you're listening to this. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for one. That's first. I appreciate you because you could have been you could have clicked on any other video, but you gave the boy a shot, and I appreciate that. And if you knew, you know, possibly I say some shit that make you want to stick around. You know what I'm saying? To make you want to drop the boy a little subscribe, you know, a little subscribe to the kids channel. You know what I'm saying? Because we growing and we getting better. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for being here, and I truly do. And to the usuals. You know, my guys who I look at as my brothers at this point, you know, family, you know how much I appreciate you. I truly do. We got a lot to talk about today, but I would be remiss if I did not finish telling you we got a lot of day left. I want you to have a dope day. I want you to chase that dream. I want you to, you know what I'm saying? Don't quit on it. You know what I'm saying? Keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves to live the life they want to live, bro. So keep working. You're going to get there. I believe in you. I truly do. But we got a lot to talk about in sports today. And I did not know exactly how we was going to start the show today. But and then it just so happened, Jim Harbaugh has been hired as the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. I have no idea why I was about to call them the New England Patriots. It's because I'm going to talk about Bill Belichick in this episode also. But that happened yesterday. I meant to make a video on that, but I say I'm going to talk about it on this show. And so many other things had happened that I almost had forgot to talk about that. But I do want to talk about that. I love Jim Harbaugh as a head coach. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best type of head coach archetypes you could absolutely have. You see, I saw a reporter ask Nick Sirianni, you know, the OC gonna run the offense, the DC gonna run the defense. What do you do? And Nick Sirianni had to tell him, I'm the head coach. The fuck kind of question is that? Like, I ain't even mad at the question as much as I am, bro, how ignorant the question. Like, bro, you could have provided some type of context into that question. Like, how the way you asked that question, tell me what you think of the head coach. Like, motherfucker, Nick Sirianni should have said, what do you do? Because everybody in this room basically do everything that you do. So what do you do? What do you think make you special, motherfucker? You know, how is you typing up your sports reports that make you some kind of whiz? But it got me thinking about the different type of archetypes a head coach is. And then I was listening to Mike Lombardi talk about it also. And it's got me because, you know, Nick Sirianni, for those who don't know, played a big hand in the offense over the last couple years. I understand he had Shane Steichen and I understand who he had last year, but Nick Sirianni's hand has always been in the offense. I don't understand how people did not know that. That was something that you easily could have known. He took a step back now this year and he's just going to be over the whole team. Now, I understand he made more good hires at those positions. That's what a good head coach does. I said it before. A great head coach is not going to continuously have the same coordinators all the time. That's why Kyle Shanahan has a tree. That's why McVay has a tree. That's why Andy Reid has a tree. The great head coaches are going to get hired from under you. And now Sirianni is starting to have a tree. So a great head coach, I understand some of the great head coaches in the NFL. It's easy to understand what make them great because this is an offensive minded head coach. They got a crazy offense like a Kyle Shanahan, like a LaFleur, like a McVay, like an Andy Reid. So it's easy to see that type of great head coach. Maybe you have a defensive minded head coach who provide your team with an overwhelmingly great defense like the Bill Belichick's in his heyday, like the Mike Tomlin in his day. I understand that. The what's my man over there in Chicago? Eberflus. Cause I'm trying to tell you right now, I don't say too much great things about the Bears. I like Eberflus. I'm going to be honest with you. I like the job that he did last year. I know everybody want to try to say that Justin Fields is why they ended up winning the games that they won last year. I would say it's a mixture of schedule, the opponents they played, mixed with Justin Fields, mixed with Eberflus and how that defense and that team just started to get better as a whole. However, we're not here to talk about Justin Fields. That's just a different type of archetypes. I understand the offensive mind, the defensive mind. You can easily what's a buddy over there and with the New York Jets. If you want to say he a good coach because of his defensive, his team that had great defenses and he a defensive minded coach, Rob Saleh. So I understand it's easy to identify those type of head coaches. But then you have the John Harbaughs. You have the Jim Harbaughs. You have the Nick Siriannis. You have the Dan Campbells if you think Dan Campbell is a great head coach. These is dudes who basically over the entirety of the team. See, they are not tacticians. The tacticians is the offensive-minded guys, the defensive-minded guys. And I'm not telling you that those guys also cannot, because I think Matt LaFleur is more of what I think John Harbaugh and this Jim Harbaugh guys. They can put their hand in. They tell the defense and the offensive dudes how I need this game plan to be ran this week. I understand you done looked at the tape of their defense. I understand you done looked at the tape of their offense. I done looked at the tape of the whole fucking game. In and out. So this is how I need this game plan to be ran this week. This is what I need y'all to have focus on this week. I'm not telling you how you need to run the game plan. I'm telling you what your game plan needs to be, what your game plan needs to be centered around this week. What the game plan more or less needs to be influenced by based off of what I saw. And you live and die off of those type of decisions. So to be honest with you, when you have a John Harbaugh who a leader of men, really, because I done seen in the last couple years, it's a lot of OCs getting head coaching jobs that's terrible with men. Josh McDaniels, Vic Fangio. These is clearly head coaches. The dude who was over there with the Eagles, Matt Patricia. These is guys who are bad leaders of men. I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that Rob Saleh done lost that locker room they might not have stopped following him. But the fact that they are willing to throw players under the bus before Aaron Rodgers got there, to me is not great example of a leader, of what you want your head coach to be able. Like, I don't want my head coach allowing that type of shit to happen on back-to-back years. Like, and then they only started to have his back when Aaron Rodgers got there. Like, so to me, when you look at the type of head coach and Mike Tomlin is a leader of men. How many players done talked about how much they love Mike Tomlin, how much they love playing for Mike Tomlin? To me, when you get that type of head coach, and maybe Sirianni is not on the same level as a John Harbaugh, as a Jim Harbaugh. He is still a great head coach. I don't understand how people don't see the influence. If you think that my man Doug Peterson, and Doug Peterson is a good head coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach, but I don't understand how you don't see the difference. Plus, I'm going to keep it a whole band with you. Doug Peterson's defense, the players on that defense, for one, that was just a better defense than what Sirianni had to work with. I don't care what the numbers say. He had younger Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham on that team. And he had Chris Long and a couple other studs on that team that was still younger players in their primes or close to their prime, to the end of their prime. He had a better defense, bro. So I'm still one of the guys who thinks that Sirianni is a good head coach, possibly even a great head coach. I'm to want to fire Sirianni to me is wild. You have to understand, bro. He is, for one, he still led that team to the playoffs. Like they talk about Sirianni as if this man was fifth in the division or something like that. Bro, players got hurt. Players started to regress. It's nothing bro, at certain points in time, you can't outcoach the players, bro. The production that a player is giving you is what it is at a certain point in time. You can coach it up maybe 1 week out of 6. But at the end of the day, them other 5 weeks, that player is what he is. James Bradbury is what he is. Kevin Byard is what he is now, bro. We can't keep living on them past days. We have to go off of what they put on the field. At some point in time, the expectation cannot be the coach got to coach this up. The coach got to coach this up. Bro, the coach coaching his ass off, dog. The OCs, the DCs coaching their asses off. The player is just not producing. And the Eagles had a mixture of that mixed with other bad coaching decisions. And I don't even think it was as many bad coach. And that's another thing. You cannot give me film on where Nick Sirianni was making bad coaching decisions. Because a part of saying he a bad head coach would have to mean he make a lot of bad coaching decisions. Dan Campbell make a lot of bad coaching decisions. Nick Sirianni is not out there making bad coaching decisions that put his team in bad positions. You press to try to find film of him putting his team in bad positions because of decisions he makes. I can show you a season's worth of film of Dan Campbell putting his team in bad positions because of bad coaching decisions. Him being influenced by the noise of the crowd. Like, come on, bro. But you showing me some film of where Jalen Hurts made Nick Sirianni put his hand down because he was taunting the Chiefs, bro? You want me to be mad at Sirianni because he got a little swagger about him? He got a little attitude about him? Bill Belichick been blowing off the media for a whole bunch of years. It didn't matter till he started losing to people. So I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. I think Sirianni is a great head coach. And Jalen Hurts all the players had his back. Jalen Hurts was floored when they asked, like, Jalen Hurts is swagger personified. I didn't know he wasn't going to be here next year. Did y'all hear something I didn't know? Jalen Hurts is this dude just the chillest dude, bro. He know he rich, bro, and he go home to a bad woman. So he ain't going to be tripping on the fans, bro. Y'all, he said at Philadelphia, that's just a bunch of noise, man. I'm going to tell you what's embarrassing, bro. Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson carry themselves in a certain type of way. And you got a certain type of person that's going to say, oh, they fake, they phony. And I love Lamar Jackson more than anybody, but you'll see people who see how Lamar carry himself and say, now that's how a real person carry themselves. Do you know how ignorant that is, bro? When you hear people say that, just understand that's a raccoon. Because it don't matter how them men carry themselves. They carry themselves the way they want to carry themselves. Just because you want them to carry themselves a certain type of way. Bro, come on now, bro. Now, I understand the media pleasing type shit. Jalen Hurts is not doing that. Just because he's not going to say nothing that's giving the media some type of clickbait. Come on, bro. Fans got to be smarter than that. They're not finna be having a war on the field every Sunday and having to deal with the media twisting something they say. That's just good business. Now, I know you a certain type of moronic ass fans out there who think, well, as long as your name in the media, that's business. Bro, some people actually like to go to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? Without having to worry about what everybody's saying about them. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, very weird that fans would prefer people like be disrespectful, because that's basically what fans be wanting. And then Lamar Jackson is not even disrespectful to the media. So I don't understand how you think Lamar Jackson is realer than Jalen Hurts and realer than like these men is just being themselves. They all is as real as they feel like being to the media. It's shit that Lamar don't say to the media. Like it's a certain type of, usually the people who like this is the media or these moronic high schoolers and middle schoolers. So they're not even morons. They just so easily influenced by the things that they see because they so used to going to ESPN and FS1 for their media. And these people are here to paint narratives and things of that nature. When Russell Wilson was winning, we never heard nothing about his character. The media loved him. When they was losing, oh, he fake. Oh, he a phony. You just can't trust what he's saying. They started to use that as an excuse to why he was losing. Like, the team just don't rock with him because his fakeness. They don't think he real. They don't like, what? It makes no sense. But we originally got over here because I was talking about Jim Harbaugh and the type of coach he is. He a leader of men who get he is a rising tide as a head coach. You see players play with him and he get the most out of them. This man was able to win with Alex Smith, Kaepernick, and who was the last quarterback my guy had, right? It don't matter. He also won with Andrew Luck. Now he has Justin Herbert. And I don't think Justin Herbert is the quarterback that everybody want to fucking make him out to be. Let me make something very clear to y'all. I don't care what I said in that last video. Well, I do care what I say about Josh Allen. I was not saying Josh Allen is not a great quarterback. I was holding him accountable, just like I'm going to hold whichever quarterback. I'm not going to lie to you. If Pat Mahomes lose Sunday, it's going to be very hard for me to go in on him because of what he's done in his career. But nonetheless, I'm holding him accountable the way I hold Lamar, the way I hold Burrow, everybody else accountable. I love Josh Allen still. That is still one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL. That is still probably my third favorite quarterback because Lamar and Pat Mahomes is my favorite quarterbacks, bro. And they also my favorite dudes to watch, bro. Like, I understand that when them two motherfuckers retire, I will be depressed, bro. Them two motherfuckers is different. Like, people been, oh, we want Brady. Oh, we want Manning. I want these two motherfuckers to play as long as humanly possible. And Josh Allen would be the third one that I say that about. Now, I want to make something very clear. Justin Herbert, in my opinion, is not on the level of Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Pat Mahomes, or CJ Stroud at this point. Because, see, all I kept hearing was, Justin Herbert ain't got this. He ain't got that. The coaching. Mind you, y'all the ones who keep saying fire all these head coaches if you're a Charger fan. Charger fans have literally wanted every single one of their head coaches to be fired. The organization didn't have to listen none of those times. Mike Tomlin done had rocky up and down seasons. They never fired him. The fans done asked for him to be fired. The team never folded. And look at what they've got in return. He might not have won a Super Bowl yet. He might not have had too much playoff success recently, but he continues to coach his team to a position to have a chance. And that's really all you can ask for. They have not folded. He's supposed to be getting an extension, I think they talked about in the offseason. And they done stuck with him. They don't fold to what the fans say because fans are fickle. Fans are asking for Nick Sirianni to be fired. This motherfucker just got them to a Super Bowl last year. Fans are fickle. And it's a shame, to be completely honest with you, how some of these motherfuckers sleep at night. But nonetheless, in my opinion, you done failed into success, basically, if you're the Chargers. Because Jim Harbaugh is a damn great coach. He really should still have probably been the coach of the 49ers, but they ended up lucking into Kyle Shanahan eventually. I don't know how Jim Harbaugh is not the head coach of this team for the next decade plus. He wins every single place he goes to. Every place he go to start off bad, he make them better. Exponentially better. He just won a national championship, so I know he getting paid. There is no more excuses for Justin Herbert, bro. He done had more to work with than any of those top quarterbacks who I think is better than him. And he has not put a single dent into the car the way these other quarterbacks have. CJ Stroud made the playoffs in his first year as a starter. Rookie season. You're not telling me them players he got is as good as what Keenan Allen was and Mike Williams was. Oh, here come the Chargers. Oh, Mike Williams always hurt, bro. Justin Herbert done had talent. We're not going to play this game, bro. We're not going to play this game. Justin Herbert done had high-level talent around him since he done been in the NFL. You want to keep making excuses about the head coaches. John Harbaugh was about to be fired until Lamar Jackson came in and saved his career. CJ Stroud has a rookie head coach. Joe Burrow has a bad head coach. Josh Allen has an average head coach. The only guy who got a great head coach at this point, who's done been great from start to finish since he entered this man's career, is Pat Mahomes. But Pat the GOAT, so I ain't trying to hear none of that. And obviously, John Harbaugh is a great head coach, but he was on his way out before Lamar Jackson came in. Most would say. But he's still a great head coach. However, I'm tired of this head coaching game that we playing. At some point in time, a bad organization gonna have to stop folding to the fan pressure all the time. You're gonna have to stick with a head coach at some point in time. This is what my irritation is about the Brandon Staley thing. And I agree. If Jim Harbaugh is out there to be hired, farewell to even if he made it to the end of the season, I would have fired him if Jim Harbaugh was out there to be hired. Because I just think Jim Harbaugh is a far better head coach than Brandon Staley. My problem is Brandon Staley is not a bad head coach. I don't think he no worse than Salah and some of these other coaches that's head coaches right now. Brandon Staley's defense, for some reason, people keep saying the defense was bad because of numbers and whatnot and stats and statistics, forgetting that they play in the fucking AFC, bro. I understand how easy it is to throw up great gaudy stats in the NFC when you play against average teams, bro. He plays in the AFC. Not only that, he played Pat Mahomes twice a year. And on most of those years, he gonna see Pat twice every year. And on those other years, he trading between seeing Burrow, Allen, Lamar Jackson. God forbid he got to see all of those in the same damn season. So let's not act like at some point in time it was not supposed to be on the quarterback to step up. You know what I find interesting? If this was Joe Burrow, and I'm almost certain of this, if this was Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow done had the weapons around him. If Joe Burrow could not get the Bengals to at least the playoffs, it's no way y'all would be making excuses for him like this. The Charger fans. I'm not talking about every other fan. I'm talking specifically about Charger fans. You would not keep letting your quarterback off the hook if you looked across at Cincinnati and you saw all the talent and Joe Burrow was just missing the playoffs left and right and he was healthy. It's no way y'all would be making excuses for Burrow. Y'all would be saying how he losing with all that talent around him. So how the fuck do y'all keep making all these excuses for your own quarterback? Also, Charger fans, y'all some of the dudes that constantly go at Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and they done been far more successful quarterbacks than Herbert. And neither of the two have had the type of talent around them that Herbert has had. The only reason you would ever think they did was because of how they elevate talent. At some point in time, Justin Herbert have to elevate the talent around him. Him making every type of throw he can make and this and that. Mind you, you tell me all the throws he can make and then in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, he can't make those throws. So I'm intrigued by that. Because you keep telling me he can make this throw, he can make that throw. And then the fourth quarter roll around and he can't make those throws. So, that's very interesting to me. But, at some point in time, which I think is now, I really think it should have been happened. But the excuses, they're going to run dry for Justin Herbert, bro. Not to mention, that contract started to kick in. You're really not going to have the talent that you had around you at your young age when you was on that rookie contract. And you really going to be praying that you start drafting great, which reminds me, the GM that they fired, Tom Telesco, I think he was hired as the Raiders GM. That is a great hire because clearly if he don't know how to draft the talent, he know how to spot it in free agency because even though I think he pretty decent at drafting talent also, he made a couple good moves, when he was in, actually, I don't even think he drafted Keenan Allen. If he was the one who drafted Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, and all these guys, that's a great GM. But now that I think about it, I don't think that Tom Telesco drafted him. So hold off on that because if he not the dude who done drafted and signed some of these studs that they brought onto the team, because the Chargers have not been void of talent. That's one of my biggest problems with with the Chargers. If you want to say that they haven't been coached up, I agree. While I don't think that Buddy is a bad I don't think Brandon Staley is a bad head coach, but I don't think that he was a great head coach. I can't sit here and say he coached up the talent that he had. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But what I can say is Justin Herbert has not made them any better either. He haven't taken them to a level where they overcome the odds at any point. Like you can say for a Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. You can't CJ Stroud. You can't say that about Justin Herbert. And the biggest problem that I'm having as far as how I see Justin Herbert, bro, in my opinion, I understand the greatness of the talent that Joe Burrow got around him. Like I said, bro, I don't know a quarterback that had the type of talent around him that Joe Burrow got around him. But man, when they all healthy, Justin Herbert pretty damn close. And he has not had the success that Joe Burrow has had. And I don't think Joe Burrow got a great head. I don't even think Joe Burrow got a good head coach. I'm just being honest with you, bro. I am not a Zach Taylor guy, bro. I'm really not. I think if they made the head coaching change, they could be a better team. I'm just being 100% honest with you, bro. I watch this man every year, and I don't know what he do to make his team better. I don't. Some can say this was his best year because he coached up Jake Browning. I don't think Jake Browning was that great. I think when Joe Burrow got hurt, people expected that those receivers and whatnot would stop playing great. And to me, they went to an even better level. They started to play even better on a weekly basis. People got mad at them because they dropped a pass here or there, not to realize they don't play with Jake Browning every year. They used to playing with. This is one of those things where great receivers make you forget how hard it is to actually play the game of football at times against other professionals. That's what it is. DeAndre Hopkins done been great with so many bad quarterbacks that it make you forget how hard it was for him to be great with all those bad quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So I think the excuse pool has run dry for Justin Herbert. But I also want to get to another head coaching thing. Nobody seems to is seemingly, it don't seem like nobody, I don't know why it was so hard for me to formulate that sentence. Seemingly no organization is going to hire Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel. And that is not surprising to me. I saw Greeny and them talk about this on Get Up, and Greeny and Kimberly were just so wrong on this situation. I don't understand when somebody presents you with facts or great, not even if you don't want to consider them facts, unbelievably great points, and you still want to poo-poo it by bringing up resume that should not matter if you're supposed to update your resume every day in the NFL. Hearing Greeny say this is still the greatest coach of all time, bro, being the greatest head coach of all time seemingly haven't mattered over the last since Tom Brady left. Since Tom Brady left, what has been the greatest head coach of all time done for Bill Belichick? Here is the reality. As great as that defense done been on some years, and as great as they done finished the seasons in some years, they haven't been nowhere near as good as the Bills or the Dolphins. They have not been coached better than the Bills or the Dolphins. I can't sit here and tell you honestly that their defense has been better than the Bills or the Jets. The coach has not, the offense has been nowhere near as good as those other teams, except for maybe the Jets. And that's debatable. The quarterbacks have not been coached up like the quarterbacks on those other teams, except for maybe debatably the Jets. You hold every other head coach to a standard over that same time frame as Bill Belichick, done been without Tom Brady. How long do those rings supposed to last as far as updating his resume? When none of those points is being met, when none of those goals are being met, you don't see development with your quarterback. You don't see development with the offense. You keep making the hires. He was the GM and the head coach. It made perfect sense to me as to why teams didn't rush to hire him. It make perfect sense to me as to why the Atlanta Falcons decided to go with Raheem Morris instead of Bill Belichick. Because when I look at Bill Belichick and what's transpired under him, Mac Jones has gotten worse since his rookie year. The offensive coordinators that you have hired from under you all flame out. Some of them not good at all. Mike Vrabel is the only one that you can make it. And he played under Bill Belichick. He didn't coach under Bill Belichick. So at what point in time do you start to hold Bill Belichick accountable the same way you hold other head coaches accountable? To me, Bill Belichick has not shown over the last couple years that he has been willing to upgrade how he is a head coach. Bro, the days of him telling you this is how it go and this is what, that's over. Now you got to be able to connect with your players. Now you got to be able to be friendly with your players. Now you got to be able to see yourself on the same level as your head coaches. You got to be able to get them the input and understand how they rocking and whatnot. Like, bro, it's no longer, you can't coach a team the way you coached it back then. Not to mention, one of the biggest things that I don't think people hold Bill Belichick accountable enough for is letting Tom Brady go. You see, he said Tom Brady didn't have it no more, when in actuality, it was no talent on that team. Tom Brady could no longer he was no longer at that point in his career where he could make everybody on the team better. That course had ran that well had run dry. He now needed to be on a team with the talent around him to where all he had to do was rely on his talent and the talent around him and his IQ and his years into this game. He no longer wanted to be in a situation where, okay, I'm playing with a bunch of receivers who I got to get the most out of, or we ain't going to have a chance. He not at that point in his career no more. Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen, right now, they could do that. They young enough and they in a physical primes to where they can make people on the team, but they can make the team better because of them. Tom Brady was no longer at that point in his career. He needed those dudes to be able to be better just because of their own talents. And he wasn't getting that out of the Patriots. So they let him go saying it was on him now. And then he immediately won a Super Bowl when he got to Tampa Bay. To me, that's just extremely bad coaching and farsight by a GM that is Bill Belichick. So I'm not shocked that Bill Belichick haven't got hired as a head coach yet. I would not be shocked if he didn't get a job next year, to be completely honest with you. But I do believe next year at some point in time, a team will probably panic, or a team will just say, bro, if we have the talent, because I don't think that you want him to coach a rookie or a young quarterback. I don't. I think you want him to coach a veteran quarterback, and a veteran quarterback is not like a Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is still a young quarterback. I do not think putting Bill Belichick under him would do much for him. That's why I said if he was to get hired by the Panthers, it's a lot of things that would have to change in that organization, but I wouldn't press it because I don't know how he would coach up. If he's not willing to evolve, which is the thing. If teams didn't believe that Bill was going to be willing to evolve as a head coach, like Nick Saban had to do at Bama, then there was absolutely no reason to bring him in, especially if you got a young quarterback. I would never make that mistake. And so I understand why he is not a head coach right now. And then when I get to Mike Vrabel, I understand why he not a head coach right now. Mike Vrabel, bro, I said it the other day. I understand the type of head coach he is. But I could honestly say he doesn't look better because of Derrick Henry's run of excellence. And I can make the excuse, I could argue, outside of when Derrick Henry was great, what did he really do for his team coaching wise that got them over those humps? Like, if the highlight was beating Baltimore in the playoffs that year, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not telling you that Verbs, whatever, however the fuck they call it. I'm not telling you he's not a good head coach. What I'm saying is nothing about him stood out enough that made me think to myself, oh yeah, he gonna immediately get a job. So when I saw the media saying that he would immediately get hired when the Titans fired him, I thought to myself, I don't know about that, because like, I get it. I understand the Titans wasn't great before getting him, I guess, but like, they also had a historically great run from the running back and some great draft picks in those dudes on the defensive side of the ball. So like, I can say he coached up Tannehill, but that was short-lived too, and he didn't coach him up in big spots because Tannehill still folded. So I understand Mike Vrabel is a good head coach, but nothing to me stood out about him that would make me hire him more than I wanted to hire. To me, the best coaching prospect when the market opened up was Jim Harbaugh. Not even close, as a matter of fact. Next after that, I'm not going to be lied to you. The more and more I done thought about it, Mike McDaniels will probably be the next guy I hired as a head coach. Because I just think when you can find a way to coach up a defense to be better than And I understand he got Cal Hamilton, but he got Cal Hamilton as a rookie. So he played a huge hand in Cal Hamilton becoming what he was in year 1 to an all-pro, first-team all-pro in year 2. Being able to integrate Roquan Smith into the defense and change the defense completely once he get Roquan. Like, I am kind of shocked that he didn't get a head coaching job, that teams didn't wait for him to see if whatever happened with him to hire him as their head coach. I actually do think that's pretty crazy, because when you look at the offenses that he had to stop this year, when you look at the teams he played that he had to coach, like the Texans played him twice this year and didn't score either time on offense. So yeah, I don't, that one is shocking to me. The more and more I done thought about it, that was probably to me the second best prospect as a head coach out there. The next one, I don't like that Panthers hire, bro. I'm indifferent, because they hired the offensive coordinator for the Bucks. And somebody said, well, he coached up, he made Baker Mayfield look good this year. But my thing is, did he make Baker Mayfield look good, or did he play in a trash division and in a bad conference? Because I don't think that Baker Mayfield was actually that great this year. I don't think he was terrible this year. I think he was mid. How would he have looked if you took that same performance from Baker and put it in or would that even be the same performance you got from him if you was in a better division? Like, per se, the 49ers division, swap the Seahawks out, or not even the Seahawks, swipe the Cardinals out and put the Tampa Bay in there. Would they look the same? So I'm not quite sure how to judge that hire yet, to be honest with you, because I don't know. I just don't know if it was Baker or if it was how historically or just unbelievable, because I ain't going to say historically, but how unbelievably bad that division was and how weak the conference is. And a weak schedule. And considering we saying he just made Baker, bro, do you see the weapons they have over there? Like, Carolina shocked that Baker didn't play this way in Carolina. Bro, you don't have a Mike Evans running around your fucking offense. I know we keep wanting to believe that DJ Moore is the number 1 receiver, or I know y'all want to keep believing these fans and the media keep telling y'all DJ Moore is the number 1 receiver. Bro, show me the tape of DJ Moore doing to an offense or a defense, or doing for an offense what Mike Evans has done for an offense. Show me the year that he was anywhere near as good as a Tyreek Hill. Show me the year he was anywhere near as good as a Justin Jefferson, a Devontae Adams. And if you say that's not fair, I'm going to tell you those are number 1 receivers. So it has to be fair, because that's the bar. That's all I'm saying. Hell, and if you want to go lightweight, Zay Flowers. Look at what he did for Lamar Jackson this year. And he didn't pop 1,000 yards, but he played like a number 1 receiver. When has DJ Moore done that for an offense? So, I know people want to clown Diggs. When has he done for an offense what Stephon Diggs has done for an offense? Puka Nacua. When has he done for an offense what Puka has done for an offense? What Coop did for an offense? Like, to me, at some point in time, bro, y'all gonna have to stop overrating DJ Moore. He is a great number 2, bro. A great number 2. So I'm interested in that Carolina hire, because Carolina, I saw the report where they was like, Carolina saw what he did and they couldn't believe, like, they was like, we couldn't get Baker better, but he did. Motherfucker, you don't have Chris Godwin and those other offensive guys running around, but Mike Evans, to be more specific, and that offensive line that Tampa Bay got is better than that raggedy ass offensive line y'all got over there in Carolina. Like, Carolina, bro, y'all is some dipshits, man. What kind of question? Anyways, I am interested in that Raheem Morris signing by the Falcons also, because that's another thing. Like, Raheem Morris is the defensive coordinator for the Rams. The Rams defense was not good this year. Like, so that's an interesting hire. when Mike McDonald is still out there to be hired. That to me is a crazy hiring. Also, on top of that, if you say Mike McDonald has Roquan and Kyle Hamilton, Raheem has fucking Aaron Donald. What are we doing? He done had Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller. Like, what are we doing? So, to me, that's a bit of an interesting hire, but, you know, whatever. And there was another hire. Vic Fangio is the Eagles' defensive coordinator after being fired from Miami. It don't shock me that the players in Miami didn't like Fangio. Fangio already done proven he don't need to be a head coach, but he could be a great damn defensive coordinator. But now he's trying to show that he can't even be that. So I don't know what's his problem. But if he can figure it out, I do think he could be a great defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. But it's still going to be dependent on who they bring in as a Philadelphia Eagle. Like I imagine they're going to elevate a lot of their younger players to key roles this year. And I'm almost certain they're still going to try to go out and make big time hires. But I am interested to see how this works. I do think there'll be a far better defense this year with Vic Fangio, because Vic Fangio, I mean, the tape says he's a great defensive coordinator. You know, you take his worst year, you take his best year, you throw him out, and the tape say he a damn good defensive coordinator, as a matter of fact. So I'm not mad at it, but I'm interested to see what Miami do now, because Miami really wasn't a good defense before Vic Fangio. And I understand they got hurt at the back end of the season this year. They basically lost every single pass rusher to injury, and they lost one of the outside. One of their starting cornerbacks. So I'm interested how it work out for Miami. This is gonna be. I don't think Miami fans, and then some of these dudes might not even be healthy to start the season. Also, going back to this Chargers team, how long is the Chargers even? Because the Chargers, I don't think is going to have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the team next year. They're going to cost too much to both be there. And you're not going to have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen on the team next year. It's going to cost too much to be there. That's the price you pay now, because now your quarterback is no longer on that rookie contract. So Justin Herbert, unless they just make great draft picks, which they have an opportunity. They draft pretty high in the draft, I think. They're going to have to nail the draft. I think they're going for a receiver in the first pick they have in the draft. I'm almost certain they're going to draft a receiver. And it's going to be crazy. Somebody is going to give Patrick Queen a bag in the offseason. Like, Patrick Queen about to get paid. So many teams need a middle linebacker. And I think the Ravens understand, as much as we love Patrick Queen, we can draft a replacement. Like, we trust in our draft process to be able to draft a replacement to play alongside Roquan. And if not, draft and develop one and elevate one of Malik Harris or something. Or hell, even probably find a good signing in the offseason. I just think you don't put that money on Patrick Queen. Or even if you wanted to, you couldn't afford to pay him what another team is going to be able to pay Patrick Queen. Now, I don't know if you use a franchise tag on him. I could see that happening possibly to get another year out of him. I don't like the franchise tag because I don't like a player not being able to make all the money he's worth on his breakout season. And this is the best year of Patrick Queen's career. He a second team All-Pro. That is a huge honor, a Pro Bowler. Like, to me, Patrick Queen done had by far his best year. And so, in my opinion, he going to be the highest paid middle linebacker. He going to get the biggest contract of any middle linebacker, probably of any defensive player, if I'm thinking about all the defensive dudes. He might get, he definitely going to get one of the biggest contracts in the offseason, I think. Because a team going to sign him to go be their middle linebacker for the next 5 years. With his speed, his ability to cover, his ability to he getting better at tackling, if the game continue to slow down, because Patrick Queen still got a higher ceiling he can hit right now. The biggest test for a team with Patrick Queen is going to be in that first year. How much is his fall off after playing beside Roquan Smith? And do you have to worry about that fall off that's naturally going to happen when you take somebody away from an all-pro player? What happens? How big of that fall off and how much of it will it matter based off of his growth and who you have playing beside him? Because to me, it's not fair for him if he got to go play alongside somebody who is not good. Because he playing in a 3-4 basically alongside Roquan. Roquan, obviously, you can't ask for him to go play alongside another all-pro player. But Patrick Queen looked good the year he played beside LJ Fort. The only time Patrick Queen was at his worst is when he had to man the middle. He was that stud linebacker who had to do all the call the plays, and that's not what you want Patrick. Now, like I said, his evolution and his growth, because he clearly evolved and become a better player this year. I think he's going to get paid, and I could see the Green Bay Packers possibly signing him. I could see the Jets possibly going after him. I could see, and I don't know who got money. I'm just naming teams that it would make sense. I could see Buffalo trying to bring him in to play alongside Matt Milano. But then again, I don't know if they make that commitment knowing that they just played Von Miller and they didn't get much out of him. I could see Houston putting him alongside Harris. That would be a incredible little. I think Patrick Queen, if he win a ring, he can be go to the highest bidder. He won't have to worry about going to a team that's in the best situation. He can just go and get the biggest contract possible if he win a Super Bowl this year. So I could see him. I can't see him going to Carolina. I can't see him because I don't think he'll go to just an absolutely bad team. I think it's enough teams with good quarterbacks that need middle linebackers like the Chargers, but the Chargers in cap hell next year, I believe. But if you want a player, you can find a way to get him. I just think, and then Greenlaw. I don't think the 49ers are going to pay Greenlaw what he could get paid on the open market. And I don't know if he a free agent this year or next year, but a team could I'm trying to tell you, a team could be smart and find a way to pair both of those two together. You automatically change your middle linebacker. You automatically change your defense. And the reason I think that's important is both of those dudes is surefire number twos. I kind of think Greenlaw is a number one. And I think Patrick Queen is trending towards number one. I know for a fact if you put both of those dudes together, they're going to look like one of them's a number one and one of them is damn near number one. So I'm be honest. If I was a team, I would probably try to. Now, the beauty is if you the Texans and you got money to spend, you already got a good middle linebacker. So you pair one of those two dudes with them, you know where it take you. If you the Ravens, if you the Niners, you have two surefire all-pro number one dudes. So you're not worried. You could put anybody beside those two and you know they're going to get the most out of them. But to the other teams who got one middle linebacker, like one great middle linebacker right now, you can make a lot of good moves. I mean, you could change your defense exponentially. And I keep saying middle linebackers matter, bro. Having dudes who can defend the middle of the field could take off that tight end and that crosser route and that slant route that they run with tight ends and with slot receivers. That matters, bro. That changes the game. And so I think personally, after seeing how great the Ravens defense and the 49ers defense is, and I could see the Eagles going after Patrick Queen. A defense that want to stay fast is going to try to get Patrick Queen because Patrick Queen is a fast player. So Patrick Queen, I think, going to get paid this offseason. And I can see the Chargers going after him if they had to get rid. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm the Chargers, I probably would want to keep Mac more than I would Bosa. That's just me personally. But they're going to lose one of them regardless, if not both of them in the offseason. And on the next episode, we're going to be talking about the AFC Championship game. This episode was originally supposed to be that, but I did not realize how long it was going to take us to get through all of those other things. Oh, bro, before we go, though, I saw that Kevin Durant said he should be considered in the GOAT conversation. I done seen, boy, if it's one person I'm not finna listen to talk about who is a GOAT and all that, is Shannon Sharp, bruh. When he talk about the basketball GOATs, his crooked criteria, bruh, that is so clearly in favor of LeBron James, bruh. It's like he looked at all of the things LeBron great at and said, okay, this is the criteria for what make the GOAT conversation to me. And so what everything LeBron was great at that other people you could knock for, that's what he uses his criteria for the GOAT, because it's an argument that he could never have LeBron lose. And I just think that's crazy. That's why he tried to dumb down the ring conversation. That's why he tried to use appearances, not wins. That's why now we starting to care about how many times somebody made it to a conference finals and how many times somebody never lost in the first round. Like, all these meaningless ass stats and numbers that don't fucking matter, bruh, that nobody brings up in regular conversations except for LeBron James fans, bruh, because they know he not greater than Jordan, bruh, or Kobe Bean. But listen. Do I think Kevin Durant should be considered in the GOAT conversation? Sure. I mean, if you think about it, he meet the criteria that he kind of did change the game in a sense that, look at this tall motherfucker shooting like this. I mean, I know Dirk could shoot, and I know we done had tall dudes that could shoot, but how many tall dudes could come off the dribble like KD? How many tall dudes could dribble like KD? How many tall dudes can go get their own shot like KD, who can play off of the ball like KD? Like, I would argue there's never been a greater mercenary in basketball than Kevin Durant. And really, the basketball guys holding this man on injuries is the only reason, and Draymond Green's mouth is the only reason that this motherfucker is not still winning rings in Golden State right now. I mean, you could argue his health is the only reason that him and Kyrie didn't win a ring in Brooklyn. Like, if you look at the way he scored, you can't name too many dudes. Hell, you can't make it past 5 men who was better scorers than Kevin Durant. When we talk about unstoppable scores, I mean, that's as unstoppable as it come. Kevin Durant not even a creative player, because you couldn't even think about creating something like that. That's crazy what Kevin Durant's archetype is. And then you think to yourself, in his prime when he was in Golden State, he was a great defender. So he can knock off them years of being a great defender when he had to be a great defender. When they wanted him to be a great defender, he was a phenomenal defender in Golden State. Like, you can't take that away from him. So, I mean, hell, if you want to argue Kevin, he got 2 finals MVPs. I know it's crooked how some people gonna look at it, because you can argue Steph should have won one of them finals MVPs. But regardless, he got 2 finals MVPs, meaning he got 2 wins in the finals. I don't give a fuck that he did it with Steph Curry. People keep talking about, oh, he joined the team that beat him. So what? Bro, I don't understand why LeBron fans keep trying to bring that shit up. That does not matter. Ray Allen joined a team that kept beating him. So what? I don't see nobody docking LeBron's ring for that. Like, this notion that should mean anything towards Kevin Durant's rings is silly to me. And then LeBron James never won a championship without another great player beside him, bruh. Like, stop playing. The man had Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving. Like, come on, Ray Allen. Like, stop playing. And the role players that he had around him on some of them Heat teams was great role players, bro. There's some of them role players he had in that first year, in the year that they won. And yes, the coming back down from 3-1 is a phenomenal task. But the way LeBron fans try to overhype that one ring, like I said, these goofy ass standards and criteria that people have as LeBron fans to try to dock Kevin Durant, to me, is silly. If you want to say Kevin Durant should be considered in the GOAT conversation, hell, have at it. I'm not going to get mad at that, because he is one of the rarest players. Bro, you can't name too many players. I don't care how you feel about Kevin Durant. You can't name too many more players that was better than Kevin Durant, bro. And when I'm talking about name somebody better, if you had to pick a player, if we picking players one after the other, bro, you not getting to too many players before you take Kevin Durant. I'm taking Jordan. Well, in my order, I'm taking Kobe, Jordan, it's either going to be Steph, Bron, or KD. Like, straight up. Like, it's no shot. So to me, and I'm talking about all time. Now, Shaq is in there, but why would I take Shaq over any of them other three players? What Steph can do, LeBron can do, and what Kevin Durant can do, I'm taking one of them dudes. I'm taking all of them before I get to Shaq. I'm taking all of them. I'm taking a whole bunch of players before I get to Magic Johnson. That's why I don't understand why we arguing for him as the still the GOAT point guard over Steph. But to me, when I think like that and I think about what he done achieved, bro, it's no shot to me that it's ridiculous to say that Kevin Durant shouldn't be mentioned in the MVP or GOAT conversation. Now, do I think he the GOAT? Absolutely not. But to me, it's not insane to put him in that conversation because he one of the GOATs, bro. To me, he is. If I'm thinking about the GOATs of the game, I would mention Kevin Durant's name, bro. Straight up. And if you would say Giannis is one of the GOATs of the game, which Giannis is getting close to it, but I don't think he's one of the GOATs of the game. To me, Giannis has not accomplished what Kevin Durant has accomplished. And I understand people want to say who Kevin Durant done played with, yada, yada, yada. I don't care. He could have folded in them moments. We done seen dudes not come through in them moments, bruh. Just because him and Steph was like that, bruh. Y'all not finna keep trying to dock. For one, I never seen two players, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, get shitted on so much by fans. But every time they accomplishments is brought up, y'all get so fearful and so uptight and so in your feelings. When we just bringing up their accomplishments, bruh. Y'all mad because they styling on you. Mad because they wilding on you. Mad because they beat LeBron in the finals on you. Or you had some money on them. That's why y'all mad, huh? It's crazy. But I think you can mention Kevin Durant in the GOAT conversation. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. If I had to build my Mount Rushmore, I know it's only 4 players, so I really don't even like that it's a Mount Rushmore, bro. But Kevin Durant, to me, is a top 10 player all time. And if you're a top 5 player all time, and I'm going to be honest, Kevin Durant is closer to a top 5 player than he is top 10 player. Because he might be 6 or 7. Now, I know if he's 7, and I know everything after the 5 mean that he's closer to the 10. I get that. But, well, other than the 6. Well, it depends on which way you're going, really. So really, no. Everything after the 5 is closer to the 5, I believe, except for the 10. Or do I sound like a dumbass? Either way, bro, I'm not mad at somebody for saying Kevin Durant is their GOAT, bro. I'm really not. If you grew up in Kevin Durant's prime, I done seen motherfuckers say that Melo is the GOAT. Now, if motherfuckers walking around saying Melo the GOAT, a man that ain't never sniffed the finals, how could I be mad at people for saying that Kevin Durant the GOAT? People walking around saying Russell Westbrook. Y'all know I love Brody. But come on, man. Like, I seen people say, I would never take Magic Johnson over Russell Westbrook. Debatable. You just love athleticism and you love Russell Westbrook, and you value them triple doubles, which is something that Magic Johnson also got. Now, what I will say, in Russ's prime, his best defensive year, Magic Johnson's best year defensively ain't touching it. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I really do. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. We could be anything in this world, so let's be kind to somebody today. I fuck with y'all. Love you. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber, you out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.